eye on inflation.
That I'm taking inflation very seriously.
The president calling it his #1 domestic priority. Miami fights in Game 5.
Vincent poked away. Butler was there. Maxey trying to sprint back. Butler!
To hold on to its home court advantage. And sticker shock.
Taking away these photos is, it's silencing their voices.
The controversial reason why parts of a Florida yearbook had to be covered up. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Juliana Estrepo. Today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Airplane emergency as a South Florida passenger survives the nightmare of having to land a plane with no pilot. A South Florida air traffic controller is being called a hero this morning after talking a passenger through safely landing a plane.
Yesterday, a passenger radioed Robert Morgan to tell him the pilot of his small plane had a medical emergency. Thankfully, Morgan's also a flight instructor and was able to help the man safely land in West Palm Beach.
I knew the plane's flying like any other plane. I just had to keep him calm, point him to the runway, and just tell him how to reduce the power so he could descend to land.
The man who landed the plane told Morgan he just wanted to go home and see his pregnant wife. This morning, for the first time ever, the average price for a gallon of gas hit $4.50 a gallon. This news comes the same day as the government releases consumer prices for April. The network's Nicole Castaneda is in the control center this morning.
Ahead of the next government reading prices later today, President Biden addressed concerns over high inflation and how he hopes to bring prices down. With Republicans putting economic pressures at the heart of the midterm campaigns, Biden also hit back at the criticism of his plans.
I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously.
President Joe Biden highlighting plans to lower energy prices, lower prescription drug prices, raise taxes on corporations, and a supply chain bottlenecks, while taking aim at Republicans.
They don't want to solve inflation by lowering your costs. They want to solve it by raising your taxes and lowering your income.
Despite a historically strong jobs market, Biden has faced low marks on the economy as inflation has soared. Republicans have pounced.
These Democratic price hikes will likely be American families' new normal.
In addition to higher grocery tabs, Triple assessed the nationwide average for a gallon of regular gas hit a fresh record of $4.37, up $1.40 from 1 year ago.
The war certainly doesn't look like it's going anywhere, but summer driving season is just kicking in. Warmer weather, longer days, people are going to be out on the roads, more demand.
The White House pointing to disruption from Russia's war in Ukraine and parallels in post-recovery inflation in Europe and the UK.
Because while we supported households and businesses got shots into arms, which allowed people to start to come out of their homes and regain their lives, our supply chains could not support that demand. So we are not alone.
Inflation surged to a 4-decade high in March. The federal government releases April data on Wednesday. Inflation surged to a 4-decade high in March. The federal government releases April data on Wednesday. In the control center, Nicole Castaneda, South Florida Media Network.
A high school in Florida is accused of a cover-up, literally. When students get the yearbook photos from an LGBTQ rally will be hidden behind stickers. Photos of Lyman High School students holding rainbow flags and a Love is Love sign will have to be covered up before students get a hold of them. On Monday, Principal Michael Hunter said in a message to the school that the distribution is being delayed, saying in part, quote, "The images didn't meet school board policy and were not caught early in the review process." He said reprinting will be costly, so the photos will be covered before the yearbooks are released.
These are my photos, and I think the student should be able to see them because, taking away these photos is, it's silencing their voices.
Recent Lyman High School graduate Maddie Karsler captured the images during a walkout protest in March that was in response to Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay bill.
This was a protest that wasn't met with much resistance by administration, and we were easily able to take pictures of the kids in the courtyard. They were celebrating, they were chanting.
When my teacher first told me, I was just completely shocked.
The yearbook's co-editor-in-chief Sky Tiedemann and lead photographer Inaka Rocha say the school usually lets them take charge of what to document and publish in every spread. The students have launched a social media campaign called Stop the Stickers.
Every single morning on the announcements, Mr. Hunter says that we are historic, we are diverse, and we are inclusive. And clearly, we are trying, in our yearbook, trying to portray that with the LGBTQ.
An event that we had planned for today, which was after school, which was the distribution for all the books to all the seniors, that had to be canceled because of the censorship of our book.
Some students who worked on the yearbook went to the Seminole County School Board meeting last night to speak out against the covering of the yearbook photos.
The valedictorian at Rollins College in Orlando not only delivering a moving speech, but proving many doubters wrong. Her speech from Sunday already going viral. 24-year-old Elizabeth Bonker was diagnosed with autism at only 15 months. Doctors said she would never have the ability to speak. However, this doesn't stop her from delivering a heartfelt speech in front of her fellow classmates.
I am one of the lucky few non-speaking autistics who have been taught to type. That one critical intervention unlocked my mind from its silent cage, enabling me to communicate and to be educated.
All right, Bonker used a text-to-speech computer program to give her speech at the ceremony, which she also uses on a regular basis to communicate with others.
The Marlins are yet to beat the Diamondbacks this season. Last night, they gave it another try.
That's still ahead, and so is his story.
Maxey trying to sprint back. Butler! 9 points for Jimmy Buckets.
After 2 straight losses, the Heat really wanted a playoff win last night. Newsbreak will be back in just 2 minutes.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Has yet to lose a home playoff game this season, and last night the Heat really wanted to win. One more win for the Miami Heat after beating the Philadelphia 76ers last night in Game 5.
Heat player Jimmy Butler was the star of the night after scoring 23 points. The Heat ended with 120, the 76ers with 85. The Heat needs one more win to finish the series and will play Game 6 on Thursday in Philadelphia.
The Marlins struggled to get a win against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last night, the Fish were tied during the bottom of the first when the rest was history. The Diamondbacks made and maintained their lead for a final score of 9-3. The Marlins have another shot at redemption against Arizona later today.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Juliana Restrepo.
And I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.